Alright, we're here. That was stressful. Hey guys, how is everyone doing? Sorry I am a little bit late. As I posted in the chat, I've had some weird technical problems. So last week I mentioned that I'd installed a new graphics card and it's been working completely fine. Everything works. We even did the live stream last week with the new graphics card, and today I've literally been sat at this desk all day shooting videos and editing videos. I hit the go live button and at that point in time it decided to tell me that my drivers needed updating. So yeah, we're here anyway. So yeah, how is everyone today? Let me know in the chat how you guys are doing. House of Maximus, yes, I did get there in the end. That was it was touch and go for a moment, to be honest. I was sort of thinking, oh, I hope I don't have to cancel the stream at the last minute. I really didn't want to do that. Did you do a fresh install when you switch card? I did, yes. I installed the new drivers, and as I just said, they've been working completely fine. And the second I hit the go live button, it decided to tell me that the drivers were no longer the right drivers. So I don't know when Nvidia published a new update, but apparently it's sometime between me using the graphics card this afternoon and me trying to go live just now. Peter Grant, problems mean I'm not late. Thought I was. No, Peter, you made it. How are you doing, Peter? It's good to see you here as always. So, yeah, this week, I've got some new pedals to show you guys. So, my new buddies at Red 7 sent me a couple of cool units, which are going to be on the channel soon, but I thought we'd test them out live. So all I've done is literally just take them out the box to take a picture of. I haven't even plugged them in yet. So I'm assuming they work. Let's hope they work. But we're going to hear them live tonight for the first time as well. So they've sent me two pedals. They've sent me the Alchemy overdrive. This is, what have we got here? This is like a twin-sided overdrive. It's a regular drive and a boost. I can't remember the exact amount of boost, but there's quite a bit there. And it's got a couple of different clipping options. So we've got like a fat and a normal switch, a hard and a soft clipping. And we can change where the boost goes. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then they've sent me this thing. This is the Chaos Theory. So this is a distortion, which again has a boost. So it's got a boost and a boost drive, 3-band EQ, fat and normal mode, and vintage and modern mode. So plenty of tweaking options there as well for all the drive tweakers out there. So we're going to talk about those a little bit tonight, and as always, just whatever you guys want to talk about. So if there's anything you want to chat about, anything you want to know, or any gear you want to geek out about, throw that into the comments on the chat. House of Maximus hard 2 days in work, so just sat down to watch you. Well, hopefully this takes the edge off a hard 2 days in work. Yeah, hopefully this live stream is less stressful for you than it was for me trying to go live a couple of minutes ago. Peter Grant, good, thanks. Recovering well from an operation 2 weeks ago. Well, I'm glad to hear you're recovering, Peter. Hope you're very much on the road to being back to normal very soon. Right, so other than the Red 7 pedals, what do you guys want to talk about tonight? I've been shooting a video today for a pedal that I'm going to pull it into the shot, that I think I mentioned it last week for the first time, and I'm having trouble unplugging it. I've been shooting a video for this today, which is going to be going live on the channel soon. This is crazy. This is from my buddy Chris at Jupiter Effects, the Catastropha. This is what he calls a Sludgefest Dominator. So with a pedal of that name, obviously I used the Strat to demo it. This is sort of his take on like a Marshall in a box kind of vibe. Because Chris loves JCMs, so it kind of does the JCM thing really well, but there's a ton more gain than any JCM would ever normally have. And just because it's Chris Jupiter, he's put an octave up in there as well, which is switchable. So this is really, really fun. I don't know if you can see it very well on the camera, but I've literally got the gain set to 1, and that's pretty much more gain than I would usually ever play with. But it's, you know, you can imagine what this thing does when you push it up to 10. So this is a really fun one. I've been shooting a video for this all day, and that's going to be going live probably in the next few days. I just need to edit that one together. So I'll play a little bit of that one for you, because I did mention it briefly last week, but if you weren't here last week, you might have missed this one. So Here's how it sounds with the gain on 1 and a neck single coil. You can hear, you know, that's quite saturated considering the gain is pretty much just off 0. So there's plenty of gain there. You can hear it is that kind of Marshall-y mid-rangey thing. And like I said, that's literally with the gain on 1. What this does really well is it is kind of responsive like an amp as well. So if you actually play with like a neck single coil, for instance, you can really clean it up nice. Not that that's the typical sound you get from a Jupiter Effects pedal. Usually he's a big fan of fuzz and all kinds of other crazy stuff. But yeah, you can really kind of get a lot of dynamic range out of this, and the octave is just super fun as well. The big knob that you would have seen when I held the pedal up actually controls the amount of the octave that's there. Now, I don't really see an argument for why you'd ever want to change that from anything other than full, because I think if you get an octave up fuzz or an octave up drive, you really want that sound. What's really cool about this is the fact, and I don't want to spoil the demo too much, but what I think is really cool about this is if you're using octave fuzz, and we spoke about that a lot last week, you are blending the octave up sound with the fuzz, and a lot of people don't like fuzz. What this is really cool for is you can get those kind of classic Marshall-y sort of cranked JCM stack tones, and you can add an octave up to that, which gives you kind of a like a cleaner octave up sound. That's why I think this is quite useful for people who maybe don't like fuzz but they want to dive into that octave thing. It just sounds insane when you start playing chords with the octave as well. And obviously, you know, like I keep saying, the gain is literally on 1 there. Here's how it sounds on full gain, for anyone who's curious. I'm not sure if I'm clipping the input signal there because that's pretty punchy. I'll turn that down a bit actually just to give myself some headroom. So yeah, I mean, for me, that's way too much gain than I would ever use. But on 1, it's crunchy enough for my use. That kind of that kind of big martially thing. Obviously you can hear the strings there. It says a lot about the amount of drive available on a pedal when you can get pinch harmonics with the gain on 1. So what have we got going on over there in the chat? Go on, dime it. Chris actually recommends that you start with the volume on 10 as well. And I've got the volume set to like 2. He really recommends this as being the sort of thing that you put into an existing driven amp. I'm playing it clean today through the Blackstar Studio 10 because that's just what I do. But Chris kind of designed this to be used into a driven amp, which is quite cool. So if you put this into an existing, or an amp with existing drive, like a JCM 800, that's when you really get the Sludgefest Dominator effect, as he calls it. It's a cool pedal. Yeah, that demo is going to be coming out very soon. So yeah, keep a watch for that one. It's really versatile. It's not designed for the sort of playing that I'm doing with it, but it can do it, which, I mean, that's kind of a testament to what Chris does as a builder. He's super creative and his stuff is just very inspiring to play. It's really a high gain drive pedal, but, you know, put that gain on 1 and you do get some cool blues tones as well. That's about as much gain as I'd ever need. Yeah, I agree with you 100% there, Peter. I'm not much of a gain player myself. I like my lower gain tones. I mean, I could probably even get away with putting the gain slightly lower on this, maybe like just off 0. I would consider that to be like a rock kind of overdrive. Like I would use that if I was playing like a heavy rock song. And that is less than 1 on the gain control. So yeah, we're literally a fraction off 0. So Chris has definitely built this thing with a lot of gain headroom in mind. That fuzz sounds very Velcro. Yeah, it kind of does. It's not as glitchy as a typical octave fuzz, but mainly because it's not a fuzz. It's actually sort of like a juiced up JCM 800 in a box with an octave on top of that. So you get that kind of aggressive, I mean, if we put the gain on like halfway, you get that aggressive octave thing. But there's actually still some clean sort of bite to that as well. It's not too fuzzy, which I really like. So yeah, I think it's a really interesting pedal. I had a lot of fun shooting that demo today, so that's going to be on the channel very, very soon. That sounds tighter than I thought it would have. Yeah, I mean, it's called a Sludgefest Dominator, which kind of makes you think that it's going to be really kind of soupy and kind of boomy. But yeah, actually it is quite tight. Like, Chris likes noise, so he loves pedals that are just a little bit crazy and a little bit out there. I mean, he does a lot of cool fuzzes and other sort of wacky and wonderful effects. But yeah, this is pretty tight. And there's actually a low cut control on this. So if you're playing like down-tuned stuff, you can actually cut some of the lows out, which again, just helps tighten it up. And there's some additional stuff inside, which I've not even looked at because that's sort of beyond my world. But there's additional things inside, like you can blend in your dry signal and all kinds of cool stuff. It's a really cool pedal. So yeah, that's going to be a video worth checking out. Anything by Jupiter Effects is always cool though. Sounds like it would do the Sabbath thing well, or Mastodon. Yeah, it would definitely work like for that kind of stuff, like sort of stonery, sludgy stuff. The Sabbath thing definitely. If you put the gain, because it's sort of Marshall-esque, if you put the gain on sort of like, I don't know, 30% of the way up. And even that's probably too much gain for Sabbath. So yeah, it can definitely do the sludgy thing. And obviously because it's got all kinds of EQ options, you can really get some sort of low-end thump from this thing as well. Yeah, very versatile drive. I bet it would stack well with a low-gain overdrive. It probably would, yeah. I've not actually tried stacking it yet. It's the sort of thing that if you use this with the gain low, it's kind of like a, like I said, like a JCM 800 plexi pushed kind of thing. You could stack this into another drive pedal, which would be cool, or hit the front end with something like a clean boost or like a tube screamer to give it a bit more additional kind of front end thump as well. That would be quite cool. I'd like to hear it with some drop C. It probably would work really well for that. Yeah, there's no reason why this thing wouldn't sound really cool in a drop tuning. I bet it would suit Queens of the Stone Age style stuff for the octave. Yes, probably would. Yeah, you could do that kind of Octavia kind of thing without it being too sort of fuzzy and soupy sounding. So yeah, it's a really cool pedal. But that's just what I already had plugged in. So today, as I mentioned on socials, we're going to talk about these two things from my buddies at Red 7. So Red 7, for those who don't know, are predominantly an amp company. And I've not actually done any videos for them directly yet. I've used their stuff in a few other videos that I shot at 42 Gear Street last year. So these are going to be the first two things that I'm going to feature on the channel. These are their pedals. They do some really cool amps as well. They've got a really cool sort of Voxy or like a train wreck kind of amp. That sounds great. And they also do some super high gain stuff as well. These pedals are part of their range as well. So everything is handmade in Italy. All the pedals are made to order. I think the only place in the UK you can currently buy them is Guitar. I don't think they're working with any other suppliers at the moment, but I think they also sell direct off their website. So yeah, we're going to check these out. So I'm going to throw this over to you guys to start. Do you want distortion first or overdrive? Where should we start? So we can go for the Chaos Theory distortion or the Alchemy overdrive. I'm going to leave you guys mull on that one for a moment and see which one you guys want to hear first. I think they're both going to be fun. My instinct is telling me I'm going to enjoy the overdrive more. Purely just because overdrive to me is a tone that I like more than distortion. But they did tell me that the distortion is super versatile as well, so I've not heard either of these pedals yet, so it's going to be the first time for me hearing them as well. Carl Longbottom, hi Lee, hope you're well. Any tips for home recording? What do you lay down first? Good question, Carl. So if I'm recording at home, usually the first thing I would do, depending on, this depends on what I'm recording. So if I already have like a guitar part in mind, what I'll often do is I'll record like a rough version of that to a click, just to get it kind of tight and in time with where I want it. Like I'll do a guide track with the guitar, then I'll go back and program my drums, lay my bass down, and then re-record my guitar properly on top. If we're talking like, you know, the song's already written and we're doing it in a studio sense, then probably record the drums first. If I was recording a live drummer, that is. Sometimes I'll put a guide track down for the drummer if they need it. But yeah, if I'm writing at home and I'm just kind of putting a demo together, always a guide track first with the guitar with a click, just to kind of get it together. Then I'll build everything up on top of that. And actually the guitar is the last thing I'll record then, the final version of the guitar that is. So yeah, drums, bass, guitar, and then anything else I want to put on top. So I hope that helps. What are you recording? I'll be interested to hear that. So do we have any takers of the order of these pedals? Which one do you guys want to hear first? Overdrive or distortion? I'm leaning towards playing the distortion first, purely because I think I like the overdrive more. I think I like them both, but I'm leaning towards the distortion. So I think I'm gonna plug that one in first, I think. So out comes the Jupiter Effects Catastrophe. Put that to one side. So, Chaos Theory. Oh, we've had a vote now for the overdrive. Okay, well, let's go with that then. Let's go with the overdrive. So the Alchemy overdrive is going to be the first one. So, pretty simple. Drive on and off, boost. I believe the boost can be used separately. So you can use this as just a clean boost, or you can pair it with the drive. You can actually put it in front or behind the drive, in and out in the back, as well as a remote switch. So these guys obviously know that a lot of players are using switches these days. So I believe with the remote switch, you can activate the two sides independently. I'm pretty sure that's how that's going to work. I don't use a switcher, so it's just the in and out for me. A couple of different clipping modes as well. So hard and soft clipping, and fat and normal. So with the layout of this, it's just got a drive, a tone, and a volume. My instinct is telling me it's probably going to be Tube Screamer-ish. Luca from Red 7 did say this is sort of a circuit they've designed themselves. So but I'm kind of leaning towards it's probably going to get me in the Tube Screamer ballpark. So, turn everything off first. Everything to midnight, normal, voice, soft clipping. So let's see what this sounds like. So yeah, straight away that kind of does remind me of like a Tube Screamer kind of vibe. That's just with everything straight up to midnight as well on the soft clipping mode. Let's hear hard clipping. So that volume drop there was the hard clipping mode, so I'm guessing there's a lot of extra compression added. So yeah, the volume drops quite a bit when you flip between soft and hard clipping. Soft clipping is actually louder, so I'm guessing there's going to be more dynamic in that channel as you kind of move through different settings. This is currently on the normal voice, so let's go to the fat voice now. So I like that straight away. That's just with the three main controls at midnight. And that was the fat voice with soft clipping. This is very, very vintage sounding. With it being Red 7, I'm guessing there's quite a bit of drive in the tank. So let's dime the drive on the normal voice with hard clipping and hear what that sounds like. So yeah, pretty much exactly as I thought it was going to sound. Very kind of fat and sort of like a tight Tube Screamer. Soft clipping. So yeah, not a ton of gain. I was actually wrong about that. I thought there'd be a bit more gain on tap, but that's not a bad thing, because to me that's kind of how I like an overdrive. I don't like overdrives when they're super gainy. This does have a clean boost, which is, I believe it's individually switchable. It is, so you can hear that getting louder. So that can actually be put before or after the drive stage as well. So if I put that before the drive stage, while the drive stage is on, we should get a bit more gain. Yeah, so that just gives the front end a little bit more of a kick. So yeah, I'm really liking that. That's kind of it is kind of Tube Screamer-esque. It has that Tube Screamer vibe, but without being too mid-humped. Obviously, I'm playing it into an amp that's quite scooped, but I don't feel like it's sort of doing that Tube Screamer thing where it sort of takes all the low end out as well, which is quite nice. Yeah, that's a really versatile drive, and that's literally, you know, 2 minutes of tweaking there. Just a bit of the old in and out. Did I miss a comment there? I'm not sure I saw the previous bit of that one. Time and an orange. Care to explain that one? Good afternoon from sunny Southern California. Hey Jose, how's it going? Good to see you here. I would say it's sunny here, but it's not. It's never sunny in the UK. And it's actually nighttime now. It's 8:40 p.m. That sounds very Fendery. Okay, that's interesting. I'm hearing a bit more of the mid thing there, not as mid-humped as a Tube Screamer, but yeah, it's definitely super versatile. I think this is going to be a really fun drive pedal. I think there's a lot of variation there. That was a nice tone change between the two. Yeah, there's so much variation in that, actually, even though it's a 4-knob pedal. I think having the switches to go between hard and soft clipping and the normal and the fat voice, that's really going to make this stand out from the crowd as an overdrive. So I'm really excited to get stuck into this one. I don't know if the boost is completely clean. To my ears, it actually added a little something to the tone. So yeah, to me that's not completely clean. It's kind of adding a little bit of brightness, but that just might be the effect of it hitting the front end of the amp. But yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. Let's do some low gain stuff. Let's put the gain on 1/4 of the way up. Soft clipping, normal voice, tone on about 60% of the way up. I like the low gain stuff. I mean, I like low gain drive tones anyway, but yeah, that works really well for me. I did actually kick the boost in there, so you might have heard a little bit of a bump up. It's not super bright, which I like. It's kind of slightly dark, and I've got the tone control like just under 3/4 of the way up. So yeah, that works really well for me. I wonder what the low gain sounds like with hard clipping. I'm guessing I'm gonna have to push the volume here to kind of compensate for the compression. Nice, that's a really, yeah, there's a lot of usable tones in this thing. I think this is going to be one of those pedals that you can easily integrate into any setup by the sounds of it. Because I'm not really hearing anything in there that I don't like, which is quite cool. The pre-gain, or having the boost pre-gain, is really cool too, because you can kind of use it as a two-stage overdrive, or you can put it post-gain, and this happens. Acts as a lead boost. I think that might have clipped the input of my interface then, so if that did get quite harsh sounding, my apologies. That's a lovely sounding dynamic pedal. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think that's the... I mean, you can tell these guys build amps because they've obviously built that same idea into the pedals, so that the pedals are responsive and you can kind of play the pedal a bit more as well. So I guess even if we completely dime the gain here on hard clipping, I should be able to roll it back and clean the tone up. So yeah, there's the dynamics in that thing. That's hard clipping with the gain up full as well. So yeah, plenty of headroom. Let's put some boost into the front of that as well to get a bit more gain. So this is as distorted as the thing can get now, because now we've got max gain, max boost, pre-drive. So yeah, even there, when everything is absolutely cooking into the front end of the pedal, it still cleans up well. So yeah, that's the Alchemy overdrive from Red 7. That's going to be a lot of fun. Red 7 redlining. Yeah, I think I did make it redline a bit there. I think I might have clean boosted a bit too much into the front of my interface and clipped the preamp a bit. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard that, but I'm pretty sure I saw some red crop up on the meters in front of me. Krenar is here. Hey Krenar, how's it going? Good to see you here as always. So yeah, Red 7 are they're not that new. They've been around for a while, but they're sort of just kind of getting into the market in a big way. Like I said earlier, if you're in the UK, there's only one place you can pick these things up in the UK, which is through Guitar Guitar. I don't even know what these things retail at, so let's actually have a look, because I have no idea what these pedals retail for. So let's find out. I'm assuming they're already in stock on the website. Let's find their name. Red 7. Okay, so the Alchemy that you guys saw, the gold and white one, is this. So what I've actually got is I've actually got some limited edition colours of these. So this is what it's going to look like from the store. The back and sides are still white, like this one. So if I hold this one up, you can see that the back and sides are white, but I've got a custom colour on both the top plates. But it's the same pedal. So the overdrive that I've been playing for the last couple of minutes is this one. This is £199 in the UK. So that, again, very, very affordable for a boutique made pedal. And the other one is this one. This is the one we're going to hear in a moment. This is the Chaos Theory Distortion, and that's actually the same price. So yeah, $199 each. I mean, that's a great price for some boutique pedals that are handmade. And yeah, I really like the sound of the Alchemy. I'm really going to have a lot of fun with this one. That's the sort of drive tone that I would use all the time. So I think that's going to be featured quite a lot on this channel for the next, for the foreseeable future. Once I've done the video for that, I think we're going to be seeing this one crop up a lot more. Hotpot Studios is here. Hey Adam, how's it going? Good to see you. Quicksilver Red 7, is that a Star Wars reference? I don't know. It might be a Star Wars reference. Do you know what? I never actually asked them what the name meant. I will find that out. I will actually have to ask them what that is. But the company's based in Italy, so I'm not sure if there's any Italian references there to Red 7. If anyone does know where the name of the company came from, let me know. So that was the Alchemy Overdrive. And there goes my guitar holder. I am going to plug the other one in now. So, as I said, that's the one that I have, which has got the sort of gold plate on the top. Exactly the same pedal that you'd get from the store. So now, this one, this has got a bunch more options. So on the Alchemy, we just had a tone control. On this, we've actually got a full 3-band EQ. With this being labeled distortion, I'm guessing this is going to have way more gain on tap. The boost side of this also has a boost drive, so we can kind of consider this to be like a two-sided pedal, but we could also use that as like a lead boost where we can add more gain to the lead tone. I don't know if the boost is independently switchable on this one. It definitely is on the Alchemy. This one I don't know. So let's find out. This has a vintage and modern mode as well, and a fat and normal switch. So let's plug this one in and see how much gain we've got on tap. So the Chaos Theory sounds like it's going to be a bit chaotic. I think that would pair really well with the Jupiter Catastrophe that we were talking about earlier as well, because that's super high gain. Okay, so this is normal mode in the vintage voice. EQ, 3-band EQ set to midnight, level and gain set to midnight as well. I've no idea what to expect. So I'm going to back the level off there because we're redlining a bit. So, okay, not as much gain as I thought out of the box. That's with it on halfway. If I flip it to modern mode, I'm sure this is going to give me that gain kick. So yeah, that kind of gets a bit more scooped. So the vintage mode is a bit more kind of classic. We've got that kind of present mid-range. The modern mode kind of scoops that out a little bit more. I mean, it's subtle. I'm going to play a couple of chords on modern and then flip to vintage and you'll hear the difference. That is a bit more of a feel thing actually. The vintage mode feels spongier. So under my pick it actually feels like it's sort of sagging a bit more, and the modern kind of feels a bit tighter. It's not the biggest difference EQ wise, but obviously I've just got everything set flat at the moment. If you were to dial this in properly into your amp, you'd probably notice a big difference between the two modes. The modern mode I believe just takes some of the mids out. It's great for if you're playing higher gain stuff. Obviously I'm not. I'm going to do my usual now and set the gain to just above 1. And let's put a bit more mid in there as well. So this is the vintage mode. So with my usual kind of drive settings, there's not much chaos going on there, but obviously if we crank this, I'm just going to dime it now just because, and I'm going to go to modern mode as well because why not? I mean, again, for me, that's way too much gain, but it still kind of retains the I don't want to say clean. Clean's the wrong word, but it's tight sounding. It doesn't get too kind of flubby when you push that gain there. Yeah, that's actually, again, really interesting sounding. The boost, I don't know if this is independent. It is not. So the boost is only going to work with the drive side on. So let's figure that out. Okay, there's the gain. That's got a lot more gain going on. So the boost gain adds a lot of extra. I kind of feel like my high gain guitar tricks are very limited to just playing the low E string. That's actually with both sides of the pedal on as well. You know me, I like to clean things up. It's very versatile. It's like the Alchemy. You can do a lot with it. I think that's really what's going to make this really fun as well, because, you know, I'm not really a high gain player, but I always find it interesting trying things that are kind of voiced for high gain players and seeing if it kind of fits with my thing, because I don't play metal at all. You know, my metal is limited to that. So that's kind of where I stop with high gain stuff. So yeah, it's always fun to see if I can fit that kind of gear into my own playing style and see what kind of dynamic it brings. It sounds like a pedal that wants drop tunings. It would handle drop tunings incredibly well. It would definitely be very useful for that. I mean, Red 7 predominantly make high gain amps. They do have some really cool low gain amps, but I mean, the guys that usually play their stuff lean on the higher gain side of things anyway. Their amps do that stuff exceptionally well. That's why I find it interesting to try these kind of things, because I'm not that guy. He says playing a Jackson, but you know, I'm playing blues licks on it. But yeah, I just find it interesting to play these kind of products and see if they fit into my world as well. Why would they call the guy that can barely fit into an X-Wing Porkings? Why not, I guess? All the gain. Yeah, there's a lot of gain there. Whammy tricks do lend themselves well to high gain. So let's do some high gain. I'm going to crank both gains. Those are fun, aren't they? Just, I mean, you can't have a Floyd Rose on a guitar and not do stupid stuff like that. That's the whole reason they were invented, to play around and, you know, do that kind of stuff. Not in a clean tone. That's exactly what Floyd Roses were invented for, was that kind of overindulgent silliness. That has a really nice higher gain late 70s vibe, very mid-rangey and focused without being nasty. And it's funny, I'm thinking that's a really low gain drive. Yeah, to be honest, Adam, I don't think it's designed to be a low gain drive. It does have a lot of juice in the tank. Obviously it's Red 7, but it's me playing it and I've got the gain very low. If John Brown played this, it would sound very, very different. He can coax high gain out of a clean boost. So yeah, in my hands, it's always going to sound a bit more retro, I think, than probably its intended purpose. But yeah, really versatile. Both of these are really, really versatile drives. I'm going to have a lot of fun demoing these ones. Recording wise, probably a good pedal to thicken up a rhythm part. Yep. I know on the Red 7 website they refer to the Chaos Theory as being great to pair with single channel amps. So I'm currently doing that right now anyway with my Black Star. And they say it kind of turns a single channel amp into a 3-channel amp. Because I guess really what we can do there is we can set the 2 different gain stages, even though I can't use them independently. What I could do is I could have my clean tone, which I've got dialed in. Then I can have a core rhythm tone, which would be my main side of the pedal. And then my boost, I could use, I guess, either as a gain boost or like a volume boost for leads. So let me see if I can get like a second gain stage without the volume being too much. So we'll go clean, drive, more drive. So yeah, 3 channels there. That would be really cool if you're a touring musician and you can't take your own backline, but you need to take something that can kind of give you that sound. Because I think that's on the vintage voice as well, not the modern voice. So obviously we can get a bit more kind of heavy if we need to as well. But to me, that's got a little bit of that kind of Marshall-y mid-range. So this would be really cool if you're showing up at a gig and you're using, like, well, I'm using a 6L6 amp right now. So something typically Fender-y. You could use this to kind of dial in your overdrive tone, and then you've got your boost side then for whatever else you need. So yeah, that would be a really cool kind of travel pedal, I think, for people who basically just can't carry gear with them because touring is expensive. The first pedal was high gain but similar in flavour. Do you think the first one was high gain? I think this one's probably got a bit more saturation on tap. The first one was a bit more like punchy tube screamery. But they definitely both have plenty of gain if you need them. Mesa Boogie are known for brutal, but loads of famous cleaner tones came out of a duel. They did. I mean, even players like Carlos Santana have used Mesa Boogie, and you would not expect Carlos Santana to be the sound of Mesa Boogie, but they're super versatile. pair the Red 7 with a chorus. I would, but I don't have any of my choruses plugged in, but I'm sure it would sound really good. I've just got these plugged in at the moment. Maybe I will in a second though. They are fun. It's pretty much all I do. I'm guessing we're talking about whammy bar tricks there. That's the point. I mean, why would you buy a guitar with a Floyd Rose to not do dive bombs? Have you heard the Red 7 chorus? It's instant Def Leppard. Oh, I haven't heard it yet, but Luca from Red 7 is sending me one very soon. And I can't wait, because he told me it's like a rack chorus and it's super, super 80s. So I'm all over that. I'm really looking forward to trying that one out. Instant hysteria. Yeah, that's exactly what I want from a chorus pedal. If it doesn't sound like Def Leppard, I'm not interested. Probably blend it with my Rev G3 for a thick freakness. Now, I bet that's a ton of gain. If you blend a Red 7 pedal with a Rev pedal, that's a lot of gain. Have you seen Ola England's Will It Chug? You should do the opposite. Well, that's kind of what I do anyway. I mean, I've done a couple of demos for guys like Engel, and again, I'm not the sort of player that you'd ever see playing an Engel, but I really love their stuff for low gain playing. You can take an Engel amp and put the gain on 1, and it sounds great. And like I did with this thing earlier, it's called a Sludgefest Dominator. That's not a low gain pedal, but I'm playing it on 1 with a neck pickup on a Strat, you know, and it just sounds really good. So I guess I kind of already do the opposite to what Ola does, because I don't even know how to chug. That's just like... That's kind of my knowledge there of metal, all in one terrible lick. Tales from Behind the Backline. That could be an interesting YouTube series right there. Blended parallel, not stacked. Oh wow, now that would be an onslaught of tone. Would you pan it left and right as well? That would be the big question. Would you pan the parallel signals, or would you go straight up the middle and blow someone's head off with it? That's the big question. You could also, why not do 3 signals and have this in the mix as well? So you could have the Red 7, the Catastropha, and the Rev G3 all in one punishing drive signal. If you like, oh, that would be a great stack up as well. Stacking those things together would be crazy. The Omacht, that's such a good amp. When I first played that, it was unlike anything I'd ever played before, because yeah, I mean, it's just so loud. The new one he's done is louder again. The original Omacht was 150 watts. The new one is 200, which, I mean, why would you ever need 200 watts of power? But that's what Chris Jupiter does. He does things louder than everyone else. His thing is just more. And if you can build a 200 watt amp, why would you not? It weighs a ton though. It's super, super heavy. He's actually done I think it's 35 watts. He's done like a mini Omacht, and that sounds great. And I actually prefer the sound of the smaller one personally, because it breaks up sooner because it's got the lower headroom. But the 200 watt, if you want an amp that just never distorts on the clean channel, that's the one. The new Titan is 250 watts. He told me, last time I saw him, he told me that he wanted to build a 400 watt guitar amp, which, I mean, it's just insane. But he will do it. Chris will do that, and it will sound as crazy as the idea is. 202 watts is loud. And obviously when we played those amps at Gear Street, we only played them through the Captor X. So we're limited there because the Captor X can only handle 100 watts. So we've never heard the Omacht really going. I've heard the mini one. I've heard that going, and that's loud. I think he put it on like the 10 watt mode or whatever, and that was disgustingly loud. And that only goes up to 35 watts. So I can imagine the new Titan being 250. I can imagine what that sounds like. I can imagine you'd need a hearing aid after opening that thing up as well. Don't mind me, I'm just making more coffee. Anyone who knows me will know I have a ridiculous caffeine addiction because all I do is drink coffee. I'm drinking something today called Black Insomnia, so I'm probably going to be able to see the guitar tones that I'm talking about by the end of this live stream. If I ever get to hang out with Chris Jupiter, we'll be building a 400 watt monster. You and Chris would be a great pairing. I think his amps would fit in perfectly on the moon where you live. I think that would be a really interesting pairing. Cronan wanted me to plug in a chorus. What should we go for? Right, you guys can pick a chorus. I'm going to give you two choices. Boss MD200 or IK Multimedia X Vibe. Both good choices. This has got the CE1 style chorus, and this has chorus 80, which I'm guessing is kind of an 80s sound. There's a couple of different choruses in this, so which chorus do you want? They're both multi-effect, but there's chorus in both of them. I realised, and this is kind of a sacrilege for me because I don't actually own a dedicated chorus pedal, and as someone who loves the 80s as much as I do, I should really have a dedicated chorus. I used to have one. I used to have the Boss CE5, and I traded it for a Dunlop /Wah, which I thought was quite a good deal. I traded a, you know, £100 chorus pedal for a sort of £250 Wah, which I thought was a good deal, but I do miss that pedal. Okay, chorus, so we should be plugged in. So, I have no idea what the preset mode of this is going to be like, but this is my chorus sound. That's a bit too swirly. That mode. Okay, I want this to be very Def Leppard, so I want it to be bright but slow. Now we're getting there. Okay, that's fairly 80s. Let's pair the Chaos Theory with some chorus. That's almost finishing on like a flangery kind of thing, which is weird. Admittedly, I've not really played with this properly yet, so I haven't quite got this dialed in. That works. I mean, obviously I need to dial that chorus sound in. That's not my best 80s chorus tone I've ever dialed in there, but that was on the fly, so it'll do for now, I think. I think the Titan 200 is my dream bass amp. That would be great on bass. Didn't you play one of the Omarkt with your bass before? Or was it the 35 watt one? I'm sure I've seen you play one of his amps with bass. Magnatone made a 1000 watt guitar amp. I saw that the other day. They've actually just made one for Tracy Guns from LA Guns. And yeah, he posted on Facebook that LA Guns are going to do a tour, and he's taken a pair of, I'm pretty sure those were 1000 watts. They weren't Magnatone though, it was Benson that made his ones. They were either 600 or 1000 watts, and it was just a number that you'd never need. And the amp actually only has a master volume, doesn't have anything else. So no preamp, it's just 1000 watts of power. I mean, it'll fill the venue. My cabinet says it'll take 400, I want to try real bad. You could really try and, you know, push the limits of what your cabinet could do there, I think. I'll run my EVH chorus up to you now. The EVH chorus is a cool one as well. I need to get more chorus pedals, I think. I really want the Red 7 one because it's like an 80s rack chorus. That's kind of my chorus dream, really. I only got rid of my old chorus because I convinced myself for a while that I wasn't using it, and I really just wanted a slash wah, but I do miss having a chorus. Gotta scoot. Have a great week and keep throwing those thumbs up. Yes, thank you very much. Have a good week, and I'll see you next week. But yes, keep throwing those thumbs up as well. Hey Dennis, how's it going? I almost missed the train today. Better late than never. It's always good to see you, Dennis. Hope the train ride wasn't too bad. The X5 does need a manual to operate. They are complicated pedals, but I think once you figure out the basic commands of them, it kind of explains itself. But yeah, they do take a while to get used to. I did a video on that one, the X Space, the reverb one, and yeah, it took me a few goes to kind of figure out how to navigate. I haven't shot my X Vibe demo yet, but I've been using it a lot in the live streams, and yeah, I'm really into this one, but I haven't gotten to shoot my demo yet. But yeah, you definitely do need to spend a bit of time tweaking them. The good thing is, if you choose to buy one of the X Gear range from Amplitube, you can actually dial in your presets in Amplitube by connecting it to your computer via USB. That is actually a little bit more intuitive than doing it on the pedal, because on the pedal, each effect, and this is the same for all of the different ones in the range, each one has like kind of multiple sub commands as well. So obviously you can't see this, but on the chorus mode I'm on right now, I've got controls on top of the pedal for 3-band EQ, speed and depth, but I can also control the mid frequency, the mix, and the mid Q via sub menus. So obviously there's like 8 parameters there with 5 knobs I can use to tweak. I mean, yeah, it's going to take a while to really dial that in. That Jackson's sounding killer. I'm a big fan of this. This is a £400 guitar. These are Indonesian made and they're just great. This is probably one of my most played guitars because it's super 80s. The whole reason I wanted one of these was growing up as a big Maiden fan and just seeing Adrian Smith play one of these in the 80s. Not in person, obviously, because I'm not that old, but seeing him play these in like 80s videos, I just knew like that's one of the guitars that I've got to own one day. I'd like to try the full USA version of this to see how they sort of match up, because apparently this is pretty close. The pickups are a little uninspiring. They're not the worst sounding pickups, you know, they do sound good, but I might change them out at some point for something a little bit more exciting. I think we cranked the bass gain on the Omark just for fun. I'm pretty sure you did, yeah. I'd like to try and use it with a cab with a bit less gain. It would be a really interesting recording amp because it's got so much headroom. It'd be great for recording clean tones, but I mean, there's a ton of great tones in it anyway. You can get kind of plexi-ish stuff going with it too. I've got a Boss Wazza chorus on order. Richtone did their normal thing of selling stuff they ain't got. I don't think I've ever bought anything from Richtone before. I sold a guitar to them once, but I don't think I've ever bought anything. If the Wazzacraft chorus is backed up with those guys, you should maybe check out if anyone else has got them in stock, because I didn't think there was that much demand for the Wazzas, especially the chorus. I'm pretty sure you could probably pick it up somewhere else relatively easy. Might be worth checking. But yeah, I need to get more chorus. I definitely need more chorus in my life. I'm holding out for that Red 7 one though. That's going to be That's going to fulfill my 80s chorus dream, I think. That's my kind of thing all over. Actually, I'm lying to you. I've got a chorus pedal on the desk in front of me. I showed you guys this one a couple of weeks ago. It's the Sonicake Cloud Chorus. That was one that, again, haven't demoed it yet, but we did a random playing of pedals last time, or the week before, and this was one that came up. So I do actually have a dedicated chorus pedal. I'm actually lying to you. But I need more of them. I need more chorus pedals. I think I need to start a chorus fund so I can raise money to buy loads of chorus pedals so I can go back to the 80s. Because that's the best decade. Adam will disagree with me, but it's the best. The guitar tones in the 80s were second to none. And I don't care what anyone says. Everything about the 80s was good. I mean, why wouldn't you want to play with a drive tone with a ton of chorus added like this? I haven't got enough gain to do dive bombs. I mean, that's the best tone, isn't it? Just 80s goodness. Chorus on everything. It's the best. Oh, I thought we froze for a sec then. My Streamlabs just went a little bit funny. So yeah, keep an eye out though for these Red 7 demos coming up very soon. I'm going to be shooting these over the next couple of weeks and getting those out there. The good news is I'm getting very close to getting back to making lots of demos again. I'm almost there with my guitar course. It's been nearly killing me, as you guys have probably noticed from my mentions of it on the live streams and socials. We're in the final editing stage now, and I'm like 50% of the way through. So yeah, next few weeks now I should have that over the line, and then I can start working through my video backlog, because it's killing me having a backlog. I don't like to have stuff that I need to get to. But yeah, these Red 7 demos will be coming up very soon. I've been posting a couple of videos over the last few weeks from the British Boutique Guitar Festival as well. So if you guys don't know about that, that is a really kind of small UK event run by my buddy CGS. And Adam from Hot Bowl Studios was there with me this time. We went a few months ago. It's basically like an event where Mike from CGS basically brings together a bunch of small British brands, really small builders that are making some really, really cool stuff. They're not big brands that everyone knows about, which is the whole point of this event. So if you guys see anything cropping up from the British Boutique Guitar Festival, you should really check it out, because it's just really good to see what kind of small builders are out there. And some of these guys are making some really, really cool stuff. We've discovered some really cool brands through that event. You know, guys that you'd never know existed if it wasn't for events like these ones that Mike puts on, because they're the sort of guys that, you know, build a handful of really cool guitars every year. But because they're small brands, they don't get that big level exposure. So yeah, if you see anything from that event, please check it out, because it's really, really cool. We've discovered a bunch of cool brands there, and the videos have just been so much fun to make as well. That's the only pedal I don't have. Were you just playing that Sonicake? I wasn't. The chorus I was playing then was the Amplitude X Vibe. The Sonicake one's just on the desk in front of me, but I mentioned it because I realised I did actually have a chorus that is just a chorus. I forgot that I had that one. But yes, I need more choruses. So if anyone wants to recommend some choruses for me to check out, please do, because I need more. So, I was talking of small British builders. Did you check out Golden Era Age pedals I mentioned last week? No, I didn't, because I'm an idiot and I forgot. DM it to me and I'll check them out. My memory's getting terrible because I've been so busy lately, because there's so much stuff going on with the guitar course edit, and you know, we just bought our house as well, which has been a monumental black hole of time and money to go into. So yeah, I keep forgetting everything at the moment. So if you want me to check things out, DM them to me so I remember, because my memory is just not good at the moment. Without CGS, I wouldn't know about you. That's true, Dennis. I do remember that you came to me through Mike's channel, didn't you? I think the first time was probably through one of the British Boutique Guitar Festival videos, and then obviously you found your way here as well, which is cool. Mike's a great guy. He does so much for this community. He's one of the guys that just kind of looks out for everyone, and obviously Adam will attest to this as well, and Krenar, if he's still here. Mike is just such a cool guy. He's one of the guys that really did a lot to help me when I started my channel. There's a few of the guys in the sort of the YouTube world that kind of went over, you know, above and beyond to kind of help the small channels like me kind of get through the first door, as it were. And yeah, Mike is definitely one of those guys. He's always been super supportive. He's always been very inclusive, regardless of how big your channel is, or how small your channel is. You know, even as a small channel, he was never one to leave me out of any opportunities. So yeah, without Mike, you know, a lot of the cool stuff I've been able to do wouldn't have happened as well. So he's such a cool guy. I need to get him on here at some point as well. I haven't seen him for a few months. I think I should probably get him on a stream sometime. And thank you for sending me that link. I just saw it pop up on my phone. I will definitely check the Golden Era Age guitars out now that I have a link to click, because yeah, I just can't remember anything at the moment. My brain isn't working right at the moment because I've just been so busy, and yeah, but I'll get there. But yes, hopefully the backlog is going to be coming down very soon. Obviously, like I said, I've been posting as regular as I can, but I'm in a bit of an editing black hole at the moment, as I've told you guys. So yeah, there's lots of videos coming. I mean, I'm looking at like 10 different things right now that I need to demo. So there's plenty of new content on the way very, very soon. But yes, so thank you guys again for coming to hang out. Obviously, I'm very sorry that we had some technical issues right at the start of the stream, but obviously the rest of it seems to have gone pretty smooth, so that's a good thing. But yes, thank you guys as always for hanging out and, you know, throwing some questions in there, listening to me ramble, giving some opinions on these cool Red 7 pedals. Keep a watch out for the demos of these, because they're going to be coming very soon. And as I said, this thing is going to be on the channel very soon. Demo was shot today, so watch this space. That one's coming very soon as well. So yes, I will be back next week at the same time, 8 PM UK time as always. Thank you guys. Keep watching the videos. There's a bunch of new stuff coming out. I've got a few new videos that are going to be going live over the next few days. As usual, links in the description. If you guys want to support the channel and support the stream, you can do that. There's a bunch of things there where you can, you know, follow me on socials and share this stuff with your friends as well. Bring your friends along to the live streams. If you guys want to support the channel, there's a bunch of things down there you can do. And I've technically started a coffee fund. So if you guys want to donate to my coffee fund, you can do that down below as well, because I need more caffeine to keep me going. But I also might turn this into a chorus pedal fund, so I can buy more chorus pedals as well, so I can get even more 80s. So yeah, you guys can do that down below as well. There's a couple of links where you can support me via some donation links if you guys want to help support the stream in that way, or you can check out all my socials and all the other stuff that I do as well. Thank you guys as always, and I will see you next Wednesday at the same time. Thanks for watching as always, and enjoy the rest of your week.